Good afternoon, everyone. I believe this is gonna be the first video of this vlog because I'm a little behind on recording. I don't know, last week I was like going crazy with the recording, and this week has not been the same. I've been slacking, and I've been slacking on recording, and I've been slacking on doing my YouTube shorts. First of all, we're getting ready to open the second store, and I'm still doing like adding things to my current store because I've been selling some things like every single day. Then I have my next market in the middle of July. So we're just doing all of that great fun stuff, but I think the plan is gonna be tomorrow I'm just gonna try and like batch record. So there's a few things I need to record, one of them being my 1 year of crocheting, and I don't think I've hit it yet. I really want to like have the video out the day that it's a year, but it's probably not gonna happen. I also need to record the market overview. I need to record something else. There's something else I have to record. So I've got like a few things, and then doing the YouTube shorts and TikToks. Like I kind of was doing really good about like posting on Instagram and stuff all last week. And this week's been a blur. It's just been like, I don't know how to explain it. I've been working really hard to start doing the market prep, and I'll throw you guys around. My trash boxes are on the ground. So you'll see, I used my old polyfill boxes to put like all of my trash in. I don't feel like getting up, so sorry about that. But this is my market box. Let me move this one. So I have some like restocks of the whales that I sold. That over there is my first store box. And then this box, which I'm honestly gonna have to get a bigger box now that I'm looking at it, is the box for like the store that I'm opening up later the month. So luckily I have a date now in which the second store is opening, which is gonna be July 15th. Very exciting. So it is June 12th. So we've got some time. I'm feeling like, all right. Funniest thing is, I didn't realize my next market is July 14th. Right? It's going to be the same market that I just did previously. You know, I ended up selling more than I originally thought. Ended up doing pretty well. Like, if you heard my thoughts on it, I was kind of like ticked off, but not at the actual market. I think I just came in with like really unrealistic expectations, and I just gotta lower them. So going into the next market, I'm thinking very, very low expectations. And then I think if I do that, then I'll be like really happy if I do as well as I did this past market. I'm like really worried though, because it's just, we're entering into summertime, and it's difficult because like if it's hot, people just like don't want to go outside, which I understand. I'm used to being outside every day, so really the heat doesn't bother me, but like I get that if it's like 92, you probably don't want to be outside at 1 or 2 p.m. in the sun. Nothing wrong with that. But I have that market on the 14th, and then that's a Sunday. And then basically the 15th, I'll be opening the store. So that's gonna be a little bit like interesting. I'm gonna be so tired, I bet you, especially if the Sunday market is like it was this past one, because I just got, I don't know, I was so exhausted. I think maybe it was because of the heat, but I also think it might have just been because it was hot and I was sitting around a lot, and because of the fact that there just really wasn't that much going on. I think I was just cooking. Like, you know, when it's hot outside and I'm doing the barn, I'm constantly moving. I mean, yeah, you get really hot, you get really sweaty, but it's like you're constantly doing things, so you don't really sit and like think about it, versus just sitting out there for like 7 hours in the sun when it was like 92 degrees and just sitting, like nothing happening. Just no people coming up, no one to talk to. I was kind of losing my mind a little bit. Hopefully next time it's gonna be better, but I'm gonna be so exhausted after those 2 markets. And then looking forward, hopefully I'm waiting to hear back if I got accepted into a market in August, which is kind of like middle August. September, I potentially have 2 markets. So I signed up for one at a little little local coffee shop. My table space is going to be considerably smaller. I think I'm going to like a 6-foot or maybe 8-foot table, so definitely will not be bringing as much inventory. I got waitlisted for a market that's ran by the same organization that I'm doing the next market and this previous market, so I got waitlisted for that. And besides that, I don't really plan on doing anything. Like, I was kind of contemplating signing up for another market in case I don't get off this wait list, but then I was also sitting there going, well, 2 markets. I'm not thinking the one at the coffee shop is going to be too crazy, but I was like, 2 markets, do I really want to do that? I'm kind of like iffy on it, so part of me kind of hopes to not get off the wait list, because it would be nice to do like a small market, because of course then when we hit like October, November, it's when it just gets insane for me. October, I did apply for a market that's like a single day one, but supposedly it's like a very big market. I'm interested to see. I've never done the market before, but the attendance I think on it was like 20,000. It's a very large market. And then I applied for my November market back at the Cumming City Center, so I'm just waiting to hear back. And then of course I don't do markets once we hit like December, and then my plan is in December through March, I'll probably take off from markets, and then I will probably kick off April, and then I am planning on applying to do my first comic like anime convention. That would be May, which would be MomoCon. Lots of fun things. I would really be interested. Like, I really want to try and do MomoCon just because I don't know of too many crochet people that I follow that do conventions that are large conventions. MomoCon is one of like Georgia's biggest conventions, and as well that just do all crochet, especially since I don't do like flowers and everything. Made with April is one of my favorite like crochet YouTubers to watch, and of course she does flowers, but I'm interested to see about just plushies. So I'm considering doing that gamble of doing MomoCon, even though I believe it is a 4-day convention, which that's kind of a killer, but I am close enough to Atlanta where I could kind of do the drive back and forth. It would just be like an hour or something. So all things that I'm considering. But then again, that's in May. Like, I could apply and get declined and all that fun stuff. But tonight what I'm doing is I'm just kind of finishing up things. So I ended up making a list of stuff that I have left over from this past market, and then just compiling it and figuring out like what numbers I need to get up a little bit for the market, and then at the same time figuring out what needs to be replaced in the store. The store, I don't think this will last, but I've sold something the past 3 days, which is pretty surprising. I was unable to record it because I forgot to record it, but on Monday I went and did like a little restock after the market. I wanted to add sunflowers and roses and lavender, and then I wanted to also add penguins and something else, dog or something, and then restock a few of the small items that I had sold while I was at the market. When I was there, it was really funny. I was putting all the stuff up, you know, doing my own thing, tagging things, and all of a sudden these kids like came running around the corner and they saw me and they were like freaking out over my stuff, because there's really not a lot of kid stuff in the store, right? They were like, oh, did you make this? And then I was like, yeah. And so we had a great little conversation with the little kids. And so I went to the front and everything, because I forgot my tags for 2 items. And I came back and they were walking out and they had their little mushrooms and little possums, and we were talking about the fun things you can do with the mushrooms. And it was just fun. It was just, I think the difference between being at the market where it's kind of chaotic, also it was just so loud, and so it was just hard to really like have a conversation with anyone and have that one-on-one connection, versus like in the store, sometimes I think the element that is lacking is the one-on-one connection. Like, I'm not there. I stop by like once, maybe twice a week, organize everything, put it back in place, and then add, you know, items that sell and everything. I think that's some of the things about the store is like sometimes my selling point is kind of me in person. Vast majority of the time, I'm completely by myself, like besides maybe seeing my family and everything. But like in terms of like outside people, I cannot tell you the last time that somebody texted me or like reached out to me that was not like a client. I don't get much of that outside connection, so I'm pretty reserved and quiet until I'm like in a market setting or like on camera. I just can't shut up. But nice to be able to be in the store at the same time that somebody was buying something and be able to talk to them. just because I feel like I lose that in the store, and I can't really explain like my story and the reason that I crochet. It just gets lost. I do want to come out here and also say a huge thank you to everyone who's been supporting me recently. Finally hit 2,000 subscribers, which is crazy. And, you know, even to this day, I'm still getting people buying my patterns on Etsy, which is also crazy. You know, I just want to come out here and give a huge thank you, because if you don't follow my Instagram, like, I post stuff on my stories about like more of my horses and everything. But just recently, actually it would be yesterday as of when I'm recording this video, the vets came out and they looked at Sloan and said he is doing really well and everything, so I can start trying to do a little bit more stuff with him again and maybe get him back jumping. I have more expenses to cover now because we were doing a trial run with a medication and the medication seemed to work, but it's like over $200 to get 30-day supply, and that's 1 out of 6 supplements that he's on, and that does not include like injections and all of his other treatment, chiropractor, acupuncture, body work. That doesn't include farrier or bed bell either. Like, it adds up so stinking fast. And sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, why do I do this to myself? Because there are so many people in the horse world who don't do anything for their horses and just wait until their horses are like crippled and broken and just like so mad at the world. I'm the type of person that, like, if I notice like the tiniest slight difference in my horse, I call the vet out, and then it just kind of like, it's great because I'm fixing a problem before it becomes like a really big problem, but at the same time my wallet is always like, oh my god, girl, give me a break. So I always want to say thank you guys for the people who support my YouTube and watch the videos now that I'm of course monetized, and the people who buy the patterns, and the people who support me at the markets, because all of the money that I'm basically getting from this past weekend is literally going around to buy Sloan's new supplement, buy his previous supplements that I have to buy, and then also cover another bill of his. So that's like $800 just gone for one bill. That's a lot. It's always hard. But I'm gonna work on probably finishing up some turtles, and then I will record some more now that I've remembered to record. I just want to say again, thank you guys. I don't know if I can say it enough to really express my gratitude, but I want everyone to know it's genuine. It really is. Thank you. Hello everyone, it is June 14th, and I wanted to come on here and show you guys some of the fun little things that I have done this week, since I realized that like with my crochet with you vlogs, I never progressively show what I'm actually crocheting. So I figured I would this week, just this week. I have been working on restocking some of my ducks. So I have 2 of these ducks, and I have a 3rd duck over there, and then I've been working on doing the little inner tubes, because besides one duck, which I think is like cream or white, one of those colors, I have sold off all of my ducks with the bigger markets approaching come August. And then with the bigger store opening, I wanted to make certain that I also had some larger items to go in that other store, because I do have more space compared to my current space at my other stores. So I've made a few ducks. Today on the agenda is going to be making these little baby alien Yoda things. This morning I was able to crochet 1, 2, 3, and I am working on a 4th one right here, and I've got some of the ears done. I am planning on going to the store tomorrow to bring some items, because I had sold some items since I came in last, so I was going to do a little restock, because I'm not planning on riding tomorrow since it's supposed to be super hot. And then at the same time while I'm there, I got a call today when I was riding to see if I want to move my spot in the store. So I think tomorrow when I go there, I'm going to look at the spot that they have potentially proposed, because right now I am in like almost to the back of the store essentially. There's like 6 really long like aisles, and I'm in aisle number 5 because it was the spot that was open when I came and looked. It was like 5 and 6, I think. And today they called me and were saying that July 1st, I think, or maybe June 31st, June 3rd, whatever. I don't even know how many days are in June. They said that they have a spot that's basically identical to mine in terms of size and everything, opening up in the 2nd row, so much closer to the front of the store compared to my spot. So tomorrow when I go, I'm also going to just look at this potential spot and then decide. I probably will end up moving, just because of course the closer to the front you more, the better. Not everyone makes it to the far back. So I'm gonna go look at that spot and add a few things. And then I also have to start figuring out about the other spot for the 15th. But my plan is I'm hoping to bring 2 of these guys to the store tomorrow. And I'm gonna make 4 for the market. And then I'm gonna make 2 more. So in total, I'm planning on making like 8. So I've got 4 essentially done. So I'm gonna see about getting the remaining 4 done, hopefully today. And that will be checked off my to-do list, and then move on to another thing. There's always something to crochet, it seems. But I wanted to come on and give a quick little update about that. I also realized that I never actually recorded this. I'll try and get some footage after this, but I have been running out of some of the tags that I use for stores, right? And instead I had this idea. So I have all of these old business cards that have my previous website on them, and I must have a couple hundred, right? I have my old website, so when I take them to market or have them in store, it's kind of like it doesn't really work because, right, it doesn't have my actual website on it. I was going back and forth because I was like, do I just throw out like hundreds of business cards that I spent all of this money on? It wasn't cheap. And I just happened to have this like epiphany of I wanted to get tags done for my plushies to kind of brand them a little bit more in store. And then I had this idea of like, well, instead of buying tags right now, maybe I can reuse these old business cards, which is what I'm doing. This is basically what I have. This is my business card, except it typically is a little bit bigger and typically does not have rounded edges. And then the back of it, I have the code and everything that they use to scan, and essentially it covers where my website was. So I kind of placed this for the first time. Just did one as like a little pre-test to see how I like it. So I'm gonna make some more tonight because of course since I'm bringing more items to the store tomorrow, I need to tag more. Like this little guy's gonna come to the store. But I'm thinking I'm maybe going to try and move this over. So if someone still wanted to scan the QR code to have all of my information, they could potentially maybe take some more off. I'm uncertain. For like a small item like this, the tag is bigger than my other ones. But then at the same time, I was like, you know, I really would like to use up all of these old business cards instead of just like throwing them away and it being a waste of money. It kind of solves my thing of wanting to brand my items a little bit more without having to necessarily output money right now. So I think that's gonna be my plan for all of my store type of items. We're gonna also cut some cards. Alrighty everyone, it is a little bit later in the day and guess what? If I wasn't already having an interesting day, my computer decided to die. I'm not saying it's surprising because I've kind of been feeling like she gonna die soon, but she croaked. So I don't have my computer, which is really funny because that means I also really don't have any of my patterns, and I was supposed to be uploading a YouTube video today. Oh no. Girl, I can't even get her on. Kind of throwing me in a loop. I guess I didn't realize how much I used my computer until it just died. So I actually have an appointment tomorrow at the Apple store to have it looked at because tomorrow I'm gonna go drop off a few things at the store and everything. So it's like, it's kind of in the general vicinity. So it didn't really make sense for me to like go there, come back and do my barn and then drive back out there. So I was able to talk to my mother and she's gonna help out and she's going to take care of the barn for me tomorrow, so that way I can go to the appointment at 1:30 because the horses usually eat about like 2. So I'm hoping that it's just the battery because that's pretty much what I think it is because it's not holding a charge. And this is a fairly old MacBook. It's gotta be like 6 years old probably. So it's probably something to do with the battery. So I'm hoping it's an easy fix and my computer can come back because this sounds crazy. I wasn't expecting this to happen, right? So I didn't back it up. Well, last year I think or something, I had to get a new phone and I thought I had everything backed up and I did have everything backed up, but somehow it became password protected and I was like, I couldn't figure out the password until I lost like everything. right? Which I don't really care about, like number, all that stuff. A lot of it was the pictures. I had a lot of pictures of me and my old horse that got put down, and I had a lot of pictures of like when Freya was a baby and when I first got Sloan, and just like memories and stuff that I just completely lost forever. So I'm really hoping this doesn't happen to my computer, because my computer at least contains like memories from the past year or two, so I really like to not lose all my pictures again. Since I don't have my patterns and stuff, I think I'm going to finish up probably this rose right here. I made this one while I was watching TV downstairs, so I'm gonna probably finish up this rose because I just have to do the last little bit. I almost finished up all of the Yodas. I think I basically have like 1 or 2 more maybe to make, and then I'll be done like making any more. Then I'm gonna go ahead and start prepping the tags. I was supposed to get one video out today, and then I was gonna finish editing the next video because I basically just had like 5 minutes left on editing it, and then I was going to record YouTube shorts and post those, but I don't have an editing computer, and I hate editing on my phone, and I actually cannot download, or I don't know, I'm not even gonna attempt, from this camera to my phone. So, and I always pretty much nowadays I crochet until like 9, I think, and then once I hit like 9:15, then I switch over to editing until I fall asleep, which is usually like an hour. Like I'm usually in bed by 10:15, so now I can't edit. Kind of throwing me off. Like I'm a very, everything has to happen at a certain time, the exact same things have to happen, like that's how I am. So this is kind of throwing off my whole mood for the night. My phone does still have K-dramas on it, so I'll probably end up watching K-dramas and just crocheting. Hello everyone, it is voiceover Carri, and I'm here today to basically tell you guys what in the world is going on in this video. Long story short, I ended up changing the domain name of my website just because I was having issues with the previous one and wanted to change over to Traveling Pony Studios opposed to the Traveling Pony. The problem was I have so many business cards with my old name on it. I would have been throwing like, oh my gosh, a couple of 100 business cards away. So I had the idea of trying to use these business cards for tags. Basically, I just did some trimming, rounded the edges, and then that way I can put the barcode for the stores on the tag, and there is some built-in branding. To me, this was like the best way to not waste hundreds of business cards and also not waste hundreds of dollars while still putting it to good use in something really beneficial for my business in person. I'm not the smartest person around, but I do have to say that at least for once, for this one day, I was a little bit smart. So this is basically the finished tag when it's all done, and I just did that for the rest of the tags and bulk made them basically too, so that way in the future when I need to tag something, it's all set and ready to go.
Doing? No, you cannot have this. No, you can't have the crochet. No, 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 no. Like it's flying away. Oh goodness.
Everybody, it is now the afternoon of the 15th, and guess what, y'all? The computer is back. I'm so happy, and I have to pay an arm and a leg to get it fixed. It turned out that with editing, I was probably pulling out way too much. The little wall connector thing I have, and probably just fried it. I'm getting a bigger battery that is supposed to be able to handle editing, which is probably what ended up like killing it. I'm happy to have my computer back, and because I have my computer back, we're going to start working on new patterns. Just not realizing I have 2 of the same hook sizes. Hook size that I don't even use that much. Okay, that's how it is, I guess. Didn't know, every single market that I do, I try and bring anywhere from 2 to 4 new patterns. Last market I did was a hammerhead shark, maybe hippos, maybe Yodas, and a giraffe. So those are my 4 things, and it alternates between, sometimes they're like really large items and I only bring like 1 of, sometimes it's items and I'll bring like a lot of them. Depends on timing. Sometimes I can get like 4 new items, sometimes it's like 1 2 maybe. That just because of the fact that since I do so many markets that are kind of local to one another, I do have some repeat customers who come and see me like every other market or every market. So because of that, I like to try and use my options. That way for a repeat customer, they're not coming back and every time it's like the same thing. Because of that, I have been thinking about doing items that might appeal to maybe not necessarily kids. That would be more in the keychain or hanging type of situation where it could appeal a little bit more to like maybe older teenagers, young adults, all that type of things. I've made it my plan that I want to make a few of these hanging baskets so I can actually hang them on my tent. As well with having these stores, I have a lot of space that's too small for like a shelf, can be filled up with something like this where I can just put a little hook, have the hanging basket hanging down. So I'm going to attempt to probably try this strawberry one. When I read the patterns, it doesn't look too complicated, but me we're talking about. The thing about me is I just, how to explain this? Whenever I get new patterns, I'm like so excited to get new patterns. It's all great, right? And then I actually open up the new pattern, and then once I open up the new pattern and I like read through it, I'm like, I don't feel this. I do this. I don't want to try and figure it out. I always go back to patterns that I've done before because then it's just like half of its muscle memory once I get the directions and everything down. I got these a couple days ago at least. I read through them all and was like, doing this. So I'm gonna force myself. I told myself that I like needed to make one at the end of the weekend, and since it's Saturday, we're gonna do it. And I'm just gonna start off with like being simple, not do a crazy one quite yet. Just see how I do with it, because just figuring out something, this whole like thing, I'm a little like confused about. So we're gonna work on the strawberry one. I'm not certain if I'll record myself necessarily doing it. Try and show you guys the end product. And basically I was able to finish all of my Yodas, 2 of them to the store today, and then I completed the other 6, I think, yeah, it was 6. And got basically all the Yodas done, so I should be good with the Yodas unless something sells at the store. And then I'm just gonna keep working. Luckily, before this market, I do not have any custom orders. I am not intending to take any custom orders before the market probably, because last month I ended up having like a week's worth of custom orders, I believe, before that market. Like I had snugglers, I had rose orders, like a week of crocheting. Around, I'm trying to make certain that I do have that week of crocheting just because I feel like I've mentioned this too many times. July 14th is my market. 15th is my move-in date. Second store as well. I'm also moving locations in my current store. By first to move up to the front of the store. I'm pretty much in the way back. Give me the option to move up to the front because they think my stuff will probably sell even better there. And then I've also put in to possibly see about getting a adjoining like wall space if it's close to the one that I'm going to be getting. Exciting things, but I need lots of time to crochet. I'm gonna try and crank out this strawberry car decor thing, and I will update you guys once it's finished. Guys, we're looking extra crazy with this lighting, my goodness gracious. But if I'm being 100% honest, I totally was not intending to come on here and record anything today. It's like the day that I actually tried to act like I run a business. A lot of admin work. I really didn't crochet like that much. Like I crocheted a little bit, but compared to normal, it was like, I didn't really want to come on and be like, yo guys, I barely crochet. But then at the same time, it was like, okay, maybe I should say like I've done admin work. I don't know. I had somebody reach out about Wholesale, which I'm not 100% certain if this is actually going to happen or not, just because it's definitely one of those harder things to do wholesale with. You have to be careful how much you're discounting. Like, I really don't shop my base prices down that much. We'll see if anything happens to come from that, but I had to basically like log most of my inventory and then write down pricing and stuff and then send over like counts that I would be willing to do. So that took up a good deal of my morning, and I just decided that while I was already doing admin work that I should just head and put some effort into updating my website, because it's been so long, and things my website has been lacking for so long is a color guide. So I should have there's the ability to upload them on the screen, so I'll show you guys. Basically what I did is I made a color palette, and then I went through most of the items that have some variation and add the colors, so that way I don't have to necessarily people down at what color items they want. I can just have the color guide, and they choose their variation when they check out. So I'm hoping that will alleviate some of the problems that I've had before in the past. Honestly, it was just too lazy to put the effort in, because it did take 2 hours. I had a few items that I needed to add, so admin work is fine, but I just kind of struggle with making certain that I do it, and basically took 7 hours out of my day to do the catalog, website. Did some recording and editing for a short video today as well, and then I'm currently loading a studio vlog that will be out, of course, by the time this comes out. I'm going ahead and uploading the studio vlog that I did, basically about my thoughts and everything from this past weekend's market. I'm interested to see if people will like it or not. I can be more energetic than I really am, but definitely was rough in one of those things. A couple of those clips. My honest opinions. So we'll see how that goes over. But it's actually 9:52. I am gonna get this video uploaded and scheduled, because I'm not gonna upload it today since I uploaded today my other video, so I'm gonna push it to I think Tuesday, and then I'll get one more video out sometime this week, or maybe two. I'm shooting for 2 videos a week, and then also maybe a short every day, maybe every other day. It's just hard for me. I am totally fine being on a camera, and I'm totally fine doing the stupidest stuff. It's just getting the energy to do it and coming up with ideas. Half the battle anytime you do social media. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna upload this, get this scheduled. It's actually almost 10 o'clock. The lighting is even worse than normal. It's 10, so I'm gonna try and be in bed by 10:15. My latest that I tell myself that I can stay up is 10:30. I stay up later than that, because my brain is one of these brains that if I stay up a certain time, then I'm gonna keep staying up. I used to go to bed at 9 o'clock every day. I'm in bed by 10:15 every day. If I did not have the horses that made me get up at 4:40 every day, then I definitely would not be an issue staying up, but I need to make certain that I do go to bed and get at least 6 hours of sleep. So I'm gonna stop talking, I'm gonna edit this, and then I'm not gonna record the outro today. I'll be back tomorrow. Hello everyone, this is Editing Carri, and I am just now realizing that I never recorded an outro for this video. And I don't know if you guys could tell, the clips from this video were quite old. At this point, they have to be close to a month old. I got so behind on editing, but then I realized that I had recorded all this stuff, and honestly I was not gonna do this video, but then I spent a lot of time doing admin stuff, and I never talk about that. And then I also did the cards, so I did enough things where I was okay, I shouldn't necessarily put this on the chopping block. That week when I was recording was a lot of prep for some online stuff, and then as well just doing stuff like that. And I will come out here and say, because it is a month later essentially, I sent the wholesale stuff, never heard back. So pretty much that was a flop. At the same time, I do think it was worthwhile, because now if somebody was to ever ask again, I do have all of the details figured out, and I did update my store and everything. And although I have not sold anything, it's also just nice to be able to have it updated, so when I add new things, it's just adding new products, and not feeling I have to go back through the website and do all this work, which I know I need to do. And that's what's been putting me off from adding new things, but I'm pretty much all caught up on admin stuff. The tags that I showed you guys work great. I've been doing it at the store and everything, and I love being able to reuse the pieces and also have the branding, so I'm very happy about that, and I'm just gonna keep doing that until essentially I'm done with the business cards, and then from there I'll decide if I'm going to outsource it and still keep doing it and maybe like reformat to make a different type of tag. But right now I can pretty much do some like paper cutting and make the business card work, which is great because I have to have like over 500 of them, and I really did not want to throw them away because it's like it's probably like over $500 in business cards alone. I'm gonna have to figure something out with the care cards because the care cards still have my previous website on them, so if you guys have any ideas of what I should be doing with these care cards to reuse them, let me know, but I really can't think of too much. I've been putting the care cards at the store opposed to taking them to the market, and luckily I redesigned it a little bit so I can tell the difference between like what's new and what's old. But yeah, pretty much I wanted to come on here, record the outro, and then also just give a little bit of wrap up, and then as I continue to edit, get back into the editing, we will get back more into recent stuff. I just ended up having like so many videos that were not vlogs like this, like they were the day in the life, sponsors, and markets, and like other shorter videos. So I just totally sat on this footage and finally got around to editing it. So if you guys want, at this point, my new pattern has released, Milo the Monkey. So if you guys want to check it out, the pattern link is in my description box along with my other patterns. And only reason I'm plugging it is my horse did just have to go up to UGA. The trip was quite expensive, and now that he's home, luckily he does not have to have surgery, but I am having to do a variety of different things like injections, just like all of this type of stuff. So I always say, if you guys watch my videos, if you guys support me by purchasing my patterns or plushies, and you guys are helping to help pay for my horse's medical expenses, because I think that trip alone with the previous one was going to be $5,000 to $6,000, and that doesn't include the work that we have scheduled coming up. So lots of fun. But I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day. I'll see you in the video. I can't promise what it will be next, but it will be something. Probably like a vlog, because I do have a market coming up, so something in that realm. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!